Welcome, this is Steve N4LQ with another exciting video about the IC-7300, and we're going to talk a little bit about how I have the passband tuning adjusted. Since I'm a CW operator type guy, I've got my own way of setting this up, and you can take it or leave it, but this is one way of doing it. We're going to talk about band noise, and as you can see here, we've got plenty of that. We've got some storms off to the west, and we've got some lightning out there, and you can see the horizontal stripes across here, which is indicative of lightning. And we've got some signals here on the waterfall. It's 5 o'clock in the evening, and a dark and stormy night. And anyway, band noise can be annoying and distracting trying to copy signals, especially if they're weak. You can listen to this. He's just buried with all this noise. Now I'm using F2, which is our filter, and I've got this set up for 500 hertz bandwidth, which is about where I like it for CW. And so let's take a look at our twin passband tuning. Now this is actually two controls, two separate passbands, and they are concentric. So there's one knob on the outside of the other one, and what I do is adjust both of them at the same time just by grabbing, just fat finger them here and just turn them like this. And as long as you're moving it, you can see what you're doing on this window, but if you stop for a second, it goes away. And if you want to put it back to normal, push and hold, and away it goes. The way to actually adjust this to where we want it is to push and hold the filter selector, and your screen comes up here, and you can see your little passband chart here, and you can see the center, which is set on 600 hertz, and that's the frequency of my side tone. That's where I like it. Actually, it's better to use a lower pitch side tone. There's several different reasons for that, but I just happen to like that frequency anywhere from 600 to 640 hertz. Well, so the center of our passband is at 600, and that's where we're going to tune a signal. So if I tune in on a signal, I want to put him right there about 600 hertz. I've kind of learned where it is. Well, the problem with that is that's also where our noise is going to peak, right there in the center of the passband. So it's sort of, think of it as like a funnel, and it's going to filter all of your noise into one narrow passband, and the best place for it will be in the middle, and it's going to sound bad. So what I do is simply grab our passband tuning controls and move them to the left, and you can hear it clicking. And as you can see here, we're sliding our passband down, and it is changing the pitch of the noise. So the noise pitch is no longer the same as our desired CW signal, and I can go down, excuse me, right there. That's as far as we can go. So now we're passing through the passband 100 to somewhere around 600 and some hertz. So you can see here our bandwidth is still at 500. So we really haven't changed the bandwidth any. All we've done is just shifted the window, as it were, down to the left. Now you hear the noise, and it's a lower pitch. It's a little bit easier on the ears. Turn it up there for you. And let's see, here's a signal. So you can kind of hear the noise in the background, but it's very subdued because it's not the same pitch frequency as the desired signal. And I do all my filters that way. You can, let's see, we'll go to filter 3. I've got it set for 200 hertz. And let me put it back in the center. And there you are. There's that annoying tunneling effect, I call it, tunneling effect. So that would drive you nuts after a while. Again, turn this to the left. You're shifting down 50 and then 100. That's as far as you're going to be able to go with this narrow of a bandwidth. You still have a 200 hertz bandwidth, and the noise is a lower pitch than what our signals would be. So now you can tune off above that signal, and it drops off immediately. But if you tune, let me find another one. You can tune below it, you can hear the low pitch stuff. So let's go back to filter number 2. So if somebody's going to interfere with you, he would have to be at a lower pitch down in the bass region. Actually, it's not as distracting as having somebody at a higher pitch interfering with you. So that's another reason I like this. As far as the sharp and soft positions go, with a narrow filter, you won't hear much difference, but if you do tune off to one side, you'll notice that your signals will drop off quicker. This has steeper skirts. See if I can demonstrate. See there how he came up when I went to soft. So I've got it set on sharp. So that takes care of how I set the passbands up, and I do that for all of my filters. And then the other thing that I like is an audio filter, an outboard audio filter. And you think, why would somebody spend all this money for the ultimate receiver and then turn around and add a little audio filter? Well, this is it. This is an Altec QF1A from way back in the old days. MFJ sells audio filters similar to this now, and there's a bunch of other ones that use different technologies. This one uses operational amps. Some of the new stuff uses switch capacitance filters, and then there's some DSP units that are a bit more expensive. However, I found this to be the best compromise because with the switch capacitance type audio filters, they tend to pick up RFI a little bit more, and they do tend to generate some strange noises. So I kind of stay away from those. DSP is fine, except it can induce a delay, and your side tone goes through this thing, and if it's delayed, it's going to really be hard to send CW with a delayed signal. So I just leave this thing on the peak position here, and this is my selectivity, and this is my center frequency, and I've got it turned off now. And let me tune somebody in. I'm going to turn him on. Turn it back off. You notice how he sounds a bit dull and mushy now that you've heard it on the with the filter in. Tune another signal in. Turn it back on. After you've used one of these things for a while, you'll wonder why the manufacturers don't put audio filters in their transceivers. Some of them do, but they're usually back before the audio amplifier, and they're not near as effective. And this thing is, of course, coming out of the speaker output, and it just plugs into the speaker output of any radio. And I've got a jack on the back for the little speaker here. Now this speaker is my favorite CW speaker, the MFJ Cleartone 281. It resonates right around between 600 and 700 hertz, and it's got a clear Mylar speaker in it, and it is a clear tone. That's why I like it for CW. So that is another little thing you might want to try, is to find you a QF1A somewhere, or buy a new one from MFJ. It's probably just as good. Then the last thing I've got is a pair of headphones here that I'll show you, and these are old and cheap. However, I like them for CW. They are 8-ohm headphones from back in the old days, back when stereos had 8-ohm outputs. All the new headphones have like 32 ohms and 60 ohms and all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't really, they just don't sound right to me. They sound kind of dull. And these things have just regular dynamic paper cone speakers in them. And like I said, it's 8 ohms. I've got it plugged into the Altec, and I've got a switch on the back that I wired up myself so I can turn the speaker off and on. And I did a little messing around here. I made some holes, and I got it so these headphones resonate at about 600 hertz. And boy, they sound great on CW. A little bit hard to demonstrate, but there you go. Oh, one more thing. To set up your audio filter, all you have to do is close your key. Let's see if I can take my speaker and close my key, and then adjust or turn your selectivity all the way up, and then set your frequency for maximum, and then back off a little bit. So you can set the thing so that it's so selective, it's crazy. Watch this. So all these things are cumulative, and they add up to a very clean sound once you get it adjusted correctly. There you go. Thanks for watching 73.